Eh. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Friday Night Live. Fair use policy disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. The following program this evening is used and produced under the fair use policy. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get over to the comments and see who all we got hiding in here right at the moment. Let's see. I see me. I see Al. Hello, Gardner Josh. See, I ain't saying the last part because my phone will go nuts. There's Gil. And that's it at the moment. Only two people. Two people hiding? Oh, good grief. Okay, we got to wait a minute. So, Gil, how was your homestead activities today?
Well, I made several videos today, and but I didn't get a chance to edit them yet. I was working on irrigation, and I've increased the irrigation to the lawn, so hopefully it won't die out this year. Before I'm waiting for the city to say you can't water our lawns, but they haven't.
That's coming.
Yeah, but so fortunately, I'm just figuring out a way to soak it from the irrigation ditch to soak the lawn, so I'm not having to use the city water to water it. And I got 4 cords of firewood today, and now awesome. I got to carry it into the shop, to the back of the shop, and stack it.
You definitely need a bobcat, so you could load the bucket, drive the bobcat in, unload the bucket.
Can't, because I go into the door of the shop, make a hard right, hard left, and down to the end. And I got to take it in wheelbarrows. But I got it dumped right outside the shop door.
Well, that helps a little bit.
And I pushed it up after they dumped it with my tractor right up. So, but and tomorrow I got to get out there about 11 o'clock and start mowing and trimming the edge of the lawn and taking care of the heavy growth.
Okay, we're up to 7.
Yay, so, 7 people! Woo!
Well, that's what my little eyeball up here says is 7.
Yeah, mine over here says 7 as well on the
there's YouTube Springfield.
Site. Hey!
Good evening, guys. There's Miss Carol. Good evening.
Teresa and President Lee in here. Or just Teresa.
Or both. Yes, I understand. Let's see. Strong enough to bend. Hello, Mary Beth. Backwoods Law. Good evening. You're not that late. Only by a few moments. No big deal.
Yeah, we haven't done anything but just chit-chat about some of the stuff I did today. And I made a couple of videos, and I'm going to be editing them over the next couple of days and trying to get them out. I got firewood. Oh, it's 98 out there, and I got firewood. Actually, I got a good deal on it. That's why I'm excited about it.
All right, as far as earthquakes go, we always touch that first, so we'll touch it real quick. The biggest one is over in the Philippines. It's pretty deep, actually. I'm sure they probably felt it at a 6.7, but I doubt if there's any major structural damage. I'm praying there wasn't, but I'm sure they probably felt it.
Well, if you look where it was at, it's right in the middle of a bay. And it got,
yeah,
and it shook. Okay, back out one more. Just back out a little bit. Okay, to the north is Manila, and then to the over to the about the 2 o'clock on a clock from it is begins with a Q something city. So there's two big cities right there that they got moderate shaking.
Yeah, it was pretty deep. So
Yeah.
Hello, Christy.
Hey, Christy. I better just go ahead and do it over
So,
here.
for fair warning, tonight's live stream will be a little touch and go for some people because, as I have said, I will only bring the truth, and I'm not afraid to tell the truth even when mainstream media and people in political power are making other people shut up. I will not shut up. This country is founded on the fact that I can say what I want as long as it doesn't. Hello, Miss Nina. As long as it doesn't create a fight. Well, I don't know. Some of the snowflakes might want to fight over this stuff.
Yeah, it could be. We got a helpless cat.
So, this is interesting. Well, before I get into this, let me play this short little video. And it's got news clips in it. I'll try and narrate over a little bit, give you all something to watch real quick. Yes, there will be sound. Just relax. Okay, this is from Australia.
The Premier clamping down on the Southern
Delta outbreak with
what she's calling a no regrets policy. And this is why. From a record 82,000 tests, the state today recorded.
Mind you, they're doing this over 111 new cases.
The third COVID death in this outbreak, a man aged in his 80s from the city's southeast. Across Greater Sydney, retail shops will now close. A small list of essential stores can remain open. Construction sites across the city shut down. And from midnight tonight, 110 suburbs across Liverpool, Fairfield and Canterbury Bankstown will be sealed shut. That's 900,000 residents who can't leave their area, even for work.
All right. Did you catch that? 900,000 people cannot leave their homes, not even for work in Australia, because of 111 new cases of the D variant. Okay. And this is the lady who said they got to do it. And listen to what she says.
Well, Dave, before you go on with this, there's one point I would like to make out. The test they are using cannot distinguish between D variant or any other variant or the common flu. All it can say is that you have a coronavirus antibody in your body. And if you were tested last year positive, you're going to test positive again.
Yeah, but mind you, this is over just 111 new cases.
Yeah.
That's it, 111. In a country that's got, million plus, it's 111 new cases. And hello, Miss Kathy. Good evening. Okay, let's listen to what she says, because it's kind of, well, you'll see.
It is in human nature to engage in conversation with others, to be friendly. Unfortunately, this is not the time to do that. So even if you run into your next door neighbour in the shopping centre, in the Coles, whilst you're at Coles and Woolworths or Aldi or any other grocery shop, don't start up the conversation. Now is the time for minimising your interactions with others. Even if you've got a mask, do not think that affords total protection. We want to be absolutely sure that as we go about our daily lives, we do not come into contact with anyone else that would pose a risk.
All right. Did you catch that? If I ran into Gil at the store, I am not allowed to talk to him, provided I'm allowed to leave my house in order to get to the store in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Because of 111 new cases. That is extreme overreach by the powers that be. That's drastic. And other countries are discussing the same measures. Just be aware. All right. This is our favorite Facebook CEO. I'm not going to mention his name because we already know it. This was back in October, and I don't know how anybody missed it because the person I got it from actually admitted he missed it too. So, but this is him admitting that he was contacted by the FBI to Well, let's just put it in plain English. He was contacted by the FBI that if certain papers or other things came out in the open, they were to consider it activities of a foreign nation causing problems and to dissuade it as fake, not the truth that it actually is.
Like America.
And here we go.
Election. So you had both the public testimony from the FBI and in private meetings, alerts that were given to at least our company, and I assume the others as well, that suggested that we be on high alert and sensitivity that if a trove of documents appeared, that we should view that with suspicion, that it might be part of a foreign manipulation attempt. So that's what we're seeing, and I'm happy to go into more detail as well if that's helpful.
All right. Did you catch all that? He just openly admitted that our government told him, hey, if these papers, which have turned out to be true and factual, come out, just say they're fake and don't let anybody else see it. Take it off your platform immediately. He just openly admitted it. Okay, and this is from our White House. And listen to this stuff.
Well, we're reviewing that, and certainly they should be held accountable. And I think you've heard the president speak very aggressively about this. He understands this is an important piece of the ecosystem. But it's also the other thing the president has pointed out and spoke to when he was asked about this yesterday is it is also the responsibility of the people creating the content. And again, I would go back to, there are conservative news outlets who are creating irresponsible content that's sharing misinformation about the virus that's getting shared on these platforms.
Yep, and I'm sharing misinformation because I'm telling y'all the truth. So, the White House says I'm misinformation because I'm telling you the truth. And I got a couple zingers that we're going to throw out here after this little short video clip. So this next clip is, considering, we're all curious about what actually is going on in Arizona and Georgia, about the recounts, about what's going on with possible fraud. So, we're curious what's going on. This was interesting.
So there's 37,000 queries, and they were done on this one day. And the reason we need the Splunk logs is because those 37,000 queries churn the data so that you can only look back to February 5th, or what was the date?
February 5th.
February 5th.
That's correct.
And obviously we need to go back to the election.
Correct.
We need to be looking at the election day, prior to the election day, looking at access. So we don't have that, what we were given, we don't have that that window, which is the critical window we need to look at.
That's correct.
Okay.
All right. So the information that they need to validate, to count properly, to make sure everything's legit, that there's no hokey business going on, disappeared in such a way because somebody queried the server that's all supposedly stored on so many times that they can't, and he said 35,000 times, that they can't go back past February 5th to get the information. That's only if the information isn't properly stored. So anybody that's in IT can tell you that information is always available. Once it's there, unless they wipe the drives, i.e. What they're telling that congressman is a bunch of bull. And I won't say any more than that because I'm trying to be a good boy. Try to be polite and good and nice, and sometimes it's difficult. Let's see, what do I have next on here? Oh, this is hilarious.
Because just like white voters,
You may have to turn your volumes up to hear this.
Voters can get a driver's license. It's the Democrat Party arguing otherwise. Don't try to flip the script. I'm asking you the question: why is it racist?
This is really stupid.
You can't answer the question.
It's really stupid.
I'm asking you a simple question.
And just so you understand what this is about, it's late. Whoa! Stop. Hold on. I hit the wrong button. Okay. This right here is Dan Bongino. If you don't know who that guy is, that's Dan Bongino. He's a conservative. He's a middle of the road conservative. He uses his brain like most of us. This young lady right here is a Democrat. And they're discussing the issue of requiring ID for voting. Okay. And she says it's racist to do it because they're asking for an ID, and asking for an ID is racist. Let's continue.
And that means that we have to have
social
more
security numbers?
Oh, I missed most of it. Hold on.
We appreciate you doing that. No, you did, and we appreciate you doing that.
No,
Backing
Dan,
the
let me tell
Republican
you
position
something.
that black voters are perfectly capable of getting a driver's license and their social security number. You made our
I
point,
told you.
and we really thank you for doing that.
Dan, I told you that black voters have a higher percentage of non-drivers.
Bull crap.
That means that we have to have
social
more
security numbers?
forms of voting for all
Do they have
kinds of
social
people.
security numbers?
And
I'm out of time. Do they have a social
absolutely,
security number?
Dan, absolutely.
The black voters have a social security number. They do.
Absolutely.
So you know they can put the last 4 digits of their social in too. Or are you suggesting they don't know that either?
Look at her eyes widen. All right. I'm going to pause at each one of these. Well, I think I got it. Critical race theory. They're discussing it. What's going on in our school systems, and it's being pushed in such a way that makes it so it doesn't look like it. They're being racist, even though what they're teaching is racism in its most discreet form. Let's see. I forget what this was about. Oh,
Music's
this is
a
also
little loud.
Huh?
The music in the background's loud, Eric. There we go.
I stopped it. Hold on. Let me turn the volume down then. Sorry about that, folks. If you look down here, this is how to run as a Democrat in 2022. Is that better? Music-wise? I think I made all these long enough for everybody to read them. This is discussing something I will be going over here in a short bit. The NSO Group, which is an Israeli surveillance company. Hey, Ryan. This is also on it as well. And I do have articles to back this up with, which I will post links to in the chat for you all to go peruse at your own leisure, if you so choose. Hey, happy birthday, Ryan. Don't worry, we're almost done with this stuff. What baffles my mind is the fact that this poor guy right here was found murdered because of this surveillance stuff. And so for those people who think that this doesn't happen, or that they can use a secure form of communication, this bypasses all that. It goes straight to the root of your phone or computer, and it bypasses because it uses your computer or phone's own algorithms. As you read it, they can read it. And it doesn't, you don't have to click on anything. It's a 0-click attack. All right. Get our cute little faces back up here. Yeah. Even signal. I did.
This is your enemy, folks. Right here.
I've been
It
saying
will
that for a
kill
long
you.
time. The old term burner phones is starting to look pretty appealing right at the moment. And I don't mean any kind of cell phone that actually does internet worth a darn. I'm talking cheap crap, barely good enough to make phone calls with type stuff.
Like
The older, the
cricket.
better. All right. This is from, this is about an article that this gentleman right here, Harold Wallach, from Germany, who did a study on German children. Okay, it wasn't here in America, it was over in Germany. And there are great people in Germany. I know some Germans, not very many, but some. Matter of fact, our lovely little Miss Lori, Queen of the North, actually spent time in Germany. So we all know somebody. Anyway, he put out a notice that stated it only takes 3 hours of children who have smaller lung capacity than us adults, 3 hours for them to start suffering side effects from inhaling their own CO2. Now, he put out a study of it. And the people over here, the Journal of American Medical Association, JEMA, told him to retract it. They didn't tell him. They told him he didn't have sufficiently convincing evidence to his study. This article, which I will now, hopefully it's not too big of a link, drop it in the chat for y'all. There you go. So you can read it. I'm not going to read the whole thing. As you can see, it's pretty long and wordy. And here's the college that he worked for, the medical sciences part that he worked at. They fired him for it. Hold on.
Yes, Kathy.
Well, backwoods. Yeah, actually, they can now. Actually, they can, because this program actually overrides that. They've actually went and one-upped a lot of bad things, and I've got it, and I've also posted in the Discord chat a full PDF on it. So you guys can go look at the technical analysis of it. Back onto the Red Dragon crap. I will get back to you in a few minutes, sir. Butch. Or Bruce, I mean. Zero COVID catastrophe. Participating nations see new records across the board. There are a lot of countries, ours included, that said we can get to zero. We ain't beat the common cold yet. And until we beat the common cold and learn something from that, we can't get anywhere near zero. But here's another link that I will post, so you guys can go read it at your leisure. Australia, which we've already seen, went to a 100% lockdown, no regrets policy. Let's see. Will that make it bigger? No, it just goes to that. Never mind. Okay. Their first lockdown. Yay, it's working. Oh, no, it didn't. Yay, it's working. Maybe not. Nope. Oh, darn. Oh, crap. It's going back up again. It ain't worked. And, you know, Sydney's not or Australia's not the only one. Go down through here. Vietnam. People were saying Vietnam was the model case of zero Red Dragon. It was a success story. And guess what? Oh, boy, it's suddenly climbing again. It didn't work there either. South Korea was looking really good for all. I mean, back when we first started covering this, Gil and I both thought South Korea was doing a really great job of it. It looked like it. Oh, maybe. Oh, I guess not. Nope, they're going up too.
Yep.
Do.
Now this is from Nikkei News.
Singapore, China, Thailand is another one.
Yep.
Oh, going up. See, the article is relatively long. So, in summary, every country that has embraced the radical notion of zero red dragon has ended up failing to contain it, or is failing to accept the cost of attempting to contain a virus that has been exponentially worse than the benefits of containing it in the first place. The promised cures have been infinitely worse than the disease itself. There are no longer any success stories involving nations using tyrannical means to attempt to stop a virus. Zero red dragon, as any rational person could have predicted a long time ago, has failed in spectacular fashion. Yep.
Flat on their face.
Yep.
And not on my face. I said when they said they were going to do it, it wasn't going to work.
Yeah. Interesting. Can I point out something interesting going back to some of these tests and stuff? The test, once again, the test they are using detects any red dragon antibody in your system. If you've had it or were exposed to it and got over it, you still have the antibodies in your system for years. Mm-hmm. So if you tested positive last year, guess what? If you're quote completely cured right now and you get tested now, you're going to test positive again because you still have those same antibodies in your system. And so what's happening right now is, especially in the U.S., they're retesting people. Oh, you got it again. No, it's the same antibodies they had before. That's how come, like in the last week, the number of positive tests have tripled.
Exponentially, actually.
Yeah, yep. It's going up. But yeah.
Unfortunately, this does not deal with the variants because it's another animal.
And it still does this. It still reacts to the same test. They can't tell which variant is, or whether it's the regular flu or whether it's the cold from the test.
Hi, Mastos.
And Backwoods, I agree. If you want something that nobody can get at, you don't give it internet access ever, period. You keep it local. You keep your own local network if you need to. You know, if you need access in multiple places. But, yeah.
Write letters, folks.
And Kathy is correct. High doses of D3, as well as a few other vitamins and minerals.
Zinc.
Yep.
Now, we can't say that because
that doesn't fit the narrative. I know.
Right.
And I fully expect this one to either get shut down or me to get a timeout, as they put it.
But for nutrition-wise, it's fine. We're talking about nutrition. Nothing about the red dragon, folks. Nutrition. Wink, wink, wink.
Nudge, nudge.
Wink, wink.
Okay. Leak uncovers global abuse of cyber surveillance weapon. Now, like I said, I do have a PDF on the Discord channel because I wanted to snatch it and get it saved before somebody pulled it off the web and put it in a semi-secure location that nobody can get to unless I let them in. And I'm kind of stingy about that. So,
no.
But anyway,
go ahead, Dave.
What's that?
Go ahead, Dave.
Oh, well, I'll drop this link in chat so you guys can go check it out. It fits. It looks like it did.
Yep.
This is talking about it itself, the number of people. You know, they're basically proving it in this article. You notice they got America covered up. You can't see America.
Yep.
You notice that? Wonder why. Oh, there it is. Oh, Mexico. But this is the real zinger part. HPC, good evening. On the list are some very key influential people.
Still alive.
Also linked there for you folks. And mind you, they've only found only 50,000 names and numbers have been released. So, yeah, this is a zero-click infection. There is no known antivirus to stop this spyware, at least none that's been reported from the company that created it, NPC, in Israel. Shame on Israel's company for letting it get out in the world. But it happened.
Here's something that coincides with Pegasus and all this stuff. How many people got assassinated since, I think, November of last year? Certain groups like Haiti, Brunei, certain African countries, their prime ministers all got whacked and they carried iPhones or Android devices, especially the one who was sleeping in his bed had an iPhone near his head.
Yeah. And his wife is now in the U.S. Anyway, we won't get on that too far. But here's who's on the list. 3 sitting presidents: Emmanuel Macron, Barham Saleh, Cyril Ramaphosa, a couple prime ministers, former prime ministers. Okay, this isn't. Yeah, I have a strong feeling I know why. Go on, Moth. Get out of here. I ain't got nothing for you to eat. But I posted links so you guys can go ahead and check it out. That way you can see I'm not spreading fear. I'm spreading nothing but the truth. As long as these websites stay open. I'm going to put this in here real quick. Go on, Moth. Get out of here. Oh, the back door's still open. Shoot, I'll have to shut that in a second.
Elysiums, right?
Ephesians 6, 10 through 16. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of this darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand the evil day, having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, having the breastplate of righteousness, your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace, and above all things take the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench the fiery darts of the wicked. In other words, don't fear this stuff, just be aware of it. Know that God is in complete and total control. Okay, I'm going to close all that out. Go up to... Where's my button? There's this and this. I posted this. Let me get rid of something else here real quick. There. Okay. I posted this for people who want to understand what spyware is and its definition from Trojans. Yeah, I've got a basic understanding of it when I was a lot younger, and I quit doing it because I was actually getting tempted to go more black hat than white hat, so I quit doing it.
You were going to go to the dark side of the Force?
I was highly tempted when I was younger to go to the dark side, but I didn't. I quit doing it completely. I was considered a white hat hacker for a while, and it got very... The lucrative opportunities to be a black hat hacker were extremely tempting. We're talking 6 and 7 figure over a 10-year period tempting. I got away from it. But this explains what spyware is, how does it get on devices, encryption, it goes through a lot of stuff that, and this even includes what the NSO says, the company that actually created Pegasus. So if you want to understand it, it's also posted in the Discord server. And let me get that link. Well, I'll have to do it this way. I have to edit. And here's a link to Discord. If you're not a member, that'll get you in on the Discord server. If you're already a member, you just go and log in normally.
There's a lot of stuff on there.
Yeah. Also, and now I'm going to drop that and bring up this last piece. Where is it? This one. And this one. This is a technical analysis of the Pegasus spyware. And I've read it, and I was kind of shocked that such software was actually leaked. Well, not leaked, sold to the highest bidders. Yeah, it wouldn't have been pretty. Y'all would have never met me. I'll put it that way. It goes through a summary. It is 35 pages long. Okay. So it's very in-depth. I will say I will try to answer questions if you all have any, if you decide to go and read it. Like I say, it's on Discord. If you try to read it and you have questions, I will try to answer them. But for a paper to come out 35 pages long means there's something in here you may want to learn. And I personally think that if you guys want to be part of the Ape Nation, Advanced Preparedness Engineers, you may want to learn a little about this stuff, because as this becomes more and more commonplace, more and more countries are going to start using this to spy on their general public. And that right now is one of the greatest fears. Nobody knows how deep this is going yet. This is just coming out. And now the mainstream media is trying to make this disappear. They don't want people to understand that this exists. They want everybody to go, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry. So I honestly feel that you folks should at least try to get a grasp on it.
Hey, Dave.
Yes, sir.
About a month and a half ago, I got a text from, I have AT&T for my phone. It's got a text from them saying that in February of 2022, they are shutting down their 3G network.
Correct.
And two of us on our family plan still have 3G phones.
Say goodbye to them.
Yeah. They want us to upgrade to the, they'll send us a free phone, and everything else. And it's like, my wife's very leery about getting the free phone. She'd rather just, go buy one that has what we want on it for the, for the two of us that have it. Cause we got 10 people on our family plan. But, the scary part about the fact that they're shutting down the 3G, that means they're pushing even harder for the 5G network, which is dangerous. But that's another story. But the fact they're shutting down, making people get new phones, kind of makes me wonder, okay, why are they shutting down something that works other than to sell you something but they're not selling, they're giving you these new phones to get you off the 3G network.
So they can spy on you.
I have not put an update on this phone, and there's the link. I got the link in the link. Anyway, sorry, Courtney. Haha. Anyway, I have not updated this. It's iPhone 7 Plus or Max, whatever it's called. I have not and will not update it. They keep saying, please update me. Now, please. Nope. So if you can not update your phones, that would be a good way to do it. Or get a burner phone. Your choice is yours. And fish, Joshua 1:9. Don't be anxious. Okay. Don't be anxious about nothing. But through prayer and supplications, give all things to the Lord. So that's that. Wow, I figured it was going to take longer. It didn't. So, Anybody in the side got any questions they want to ask? Any news they'd like to have me go look up for them?
Oh, let's see. Snow is not created by carbon dioxide pollution. See Kimberley, South Africa. It looks like Texas.
Do I have to go back over what you and I went over with Hooples today? Is that what you're trying to do?
Yes.
If y'all missed it, Al put out a video and Hooples made a or I made a comment, then Hooples made a comment, and I made a comment back to Hooples.
Hoople's stuck in that little, you know what?
Now,
he's in that rut.
Now, mind you, Hooples does put out some good videos. I am not taking anything away from him. He is an intelligent young man. But there are some topics he still leans to believe what his bosses and everything tell him. And I made a comment about, the methane and CO2 being released in certain parts of Russia. Something that those of us who've been watching this kind of stuff for years know is happening. It's been out there for at least 15 years that we've seen this stuff. Part of the permafrost in Russia thawing out, methane and CO2 being released. He asked where we were getting our misinformation. It's not misinformation, it's fact. And the sad part is down in Antarctica, because of the volcanic activity under the ice, it's doing the exact same thing. Also, well published in the news.
Also scientific journals, which Hubble's cat don't read because it's not easy agenda. It's not Hollywood correct.
I can't understand it. That's why he doesn't read it.
It's basic mathematics, folks. If Hubble's cat was right, we've been all dead in 1979 from carbon dioxide poisoning.
Hey, Dustin.
Hey, Dustin.
I'm waiting for one more piece, Dustin, for my chronograph testing to work, but I've managed to up the power on that by 50 feet per second.
Cool.
Yeah.
Did anybody see the card cutting video that Dave put out this morning? That was great.
I did not get the notification on that. I'm gonna have to put that over.
You have to go watch it, Gil. It's a great one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took me two shots, but
right. It was neat. Just oh yeah, Dustin saw it. So did Mouse Toad.
I'm gonna have to go digging into it this way here.
So again, folks, just because this spyware is out there doesn't mean it's going to hit us as a local entity yet. As us low peons, we're relatively safe from it. Hey, Bama fam.
Okay, that does open.
Well, free internet. Is anything in this world truly free anymore?
No.
Okay. It's not. Because Charles gets food stamps, we get this little teeny burner phone. And for a while, this is the only phone I had. So I still use it. It's for his school stuff. If the school needs to get a hold of us, that's what they call on. They don't call on my other one. It doesn't receive the national updates for when they do the national test of the emergency broadcast system. It doesn't get that. And they've done that on purpose. Excuse me.
Yep.
Now they're trying to get me to upgrade the phone or upgrade its abilities. Oh, you can get extra internet on this phone. This phone doesn't do internet, people. Send me a new phone. They won't. They want me to pay for it. And I tell them I can't. And I'm not going to. If you have an old phone that you can still get service on, something like one of these, an old track phone, that's what this is. It's a track phone. $50 a month, if you can swing it. Carry a track phone around. Give it to your close friends and family, and that's it.
Or you could do like Uncle Alan, have a dinosaur phone right on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
You turn the dial, You lift it up.
Rotary. Wow.
No, man, I gotta have push buttons. I gotta hear that tone, not the.
My
Anyway,
nephew still
You know
says,
what's fun? You know what's funny about rotary phones? Back when I was a preteen, there was a place that we went to for our acrobatics and, training and stuff like that, and they put a little lock in there so you couldn't dial with it. However, if you were good, you'd lift the phone off the receiver and you just tap it just fast enough. You could dial by tapping it.
Mm-hmm.
it's an old trick.
Yep.
Carol, that's been going on for I don't know, last 20 years.
Yeah.
More than that, 35 that I know of. They
They're
bring troops
landing,
over. They're troops that are stationed here and rotated out and trained with the U.S. military, and yeah,
For peacekeeping duty.
mm-hmm.
You see a lot of blue helmets.
Mm-hmm.
Same with them on rail lines and everything else. I mean, there are a bunch of channels out there that go, look what I seen today. A train with 400 UN vehicles on it. They're coming to take everything away. That's been going on for years. It's no big deal.
Right.
Yeah.
And besides, I keep telling people, everybody says, it's wonderful. Lumber prices are dropping. And housing is booming. Okay. Nobody ever listens to my videos, Black Rock. And once the DOJ stops sucking up to the Democrats and check on BlackRock and its corporations, you'll find out who's been buying a lot of the banks and buying a lot of the real estate. And people kind of look like me, wearing glasses, eating Chinese food. I won't say who, but it's the country between Mongolia and Japan.
Bordered by Russia.
Yeah.
And India.
Yeah. And people don't get it still.
And you're right, Backwoods. U.S. military is one of the leading militaries of the world. Unfortunately, there are certain people on the left side of the aisle who are trying to
neuter it.
Oh, they've already done that.
Oh, they did a great job. Have you seen the Ghost Fleet? 3 ships left.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is gone.
You're right, Bama fan. That's one of the reasons it's easier to track a phone that you can't pull batteries out of, unless, of course, you're tech savvy and know how to remove the battery without destroying the phone. I know nothing. Nothing.
You know nothing. You're following orders.
All right, Dave, I'm going to step out of here now. It's getting close to that time. I'm going to take care of some stuff and get my stuff ready over there. And speaking of phones and stuff and computer information, my live stream coming up here in 12 minutes is communication on the homestead and other places. So we're going to talk about communication, ways to communicate when the phones all go down and everything else. And so and sometimes just not without going down, just to have other communication. So I'll see you guys over there. Take care.
Put your link in there.
Oh, link. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
People can just jump
because now that you
later.
have 2 different channels, people may get confused.
Yeah, because this is going to be on Camp Patton Family Compound, so I will have to change my name before I go live over there.
Yes, you will confuse everybody.
Okay.
Don't know anything about what there, Miss Nina.
Yeah.
Communications? No, you don't. I will agree. You are as dark about it as the rest of us.
All right, there's the.
I'm still with Morse code.
There's the link to the Camp Patton Family Compound live stream in 11 minutes. All right, I'll see you over there.
All right, see it.
See ya. Now let's see what else is going on. We cover earthquakes and blah 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 and everything. Only thing was new was Obama yelled at that reporter, and he quoted me. It was so funny. I knew they were watching my channel, the Democrats, and they say, "What do you think? Democrats drink the blood of children?" That's my quote. I couldn't stop laughing. That was on, was it CNN or NBC? It was one of those two.
I don't remember. I don't watch them.
Backwoods
has a point. the UN has no power or authority on U.S. soil. Our Congress would have to do that, and which would mean if they did that, that we were relinquishing our governmental powers over to the UN for a one world government. I don't see that happening anytime soon, but the Bible says it will happen. I pray it just doesn't happen in my lifetime.
All right, Carol, do a whooping cough test because it's going around again, especially in the South, Florida, Georgia, Alabama.
Hey, Carol, you're down in Florida. You and Miss Mousetoes need to communicate together because Miss Mousetoes has some awesome soups. You're going to have to barter for them now. Miss Mousetoes just ain't going to give it away now. But, I'm sure y'all could come up with something because she's got some good soups.
Right.
And she got some really good pea soup. I didn't say that, though.
Yeah.
Hiding
Mississippi. Mississippi has an alert out on whooping cough.
Mm-hmm.
Not for kids only, older adults. If you have
60 and older.
Yeah. If you are an elderly person who has respiratory problems like Uncle Alan did, I got my shot, but I'm fine. It didn't affect me. And I made sure it wasn't the flu shot or Red Dragon or anything because I keep telling him, you shoot me with that, you'll kill me in 30 minutes. So I get real paranoid when they're shooting up. I'll check the vials myself. Okay, shoot up.
And Backwoods, that's why I don't know if anybody caught the latest. If you haven't, go check out Colin Noir or Colin Noir. He is a former lawyer turned Second Amendment activist. And he put out a piece today talking about what Biden recently said. Our beloved fearless leader said he's going after 9mm.
No, also didn't he say it on that?
I don't pay attention to that old guy who's suffering from dementia, who they've talked about in back rooms since January of making sure he's incompetent by the end of this year.
I hope so, because he's trying to get rid of all guns that weren't muskets. I'm like, what? What is that he's talking about? Getting rid of all guns that are not muskets.
He wants to take it back to where the common person has no more access to a firearm than they did back before Davy Crockett.
Yeah. I don't think so.
And I hope most states follow that there, Backwoods, in case anybody's wondering. That's what I'm talking about. Now, unfortunately, here in the Buckeye, we have a Republican governor who's actually a Democrat.
Yep. Same as Alabama.
And I don't care if he hears me say it. I'll say it straight to his face. He used to be pro Second Amendment. He used to be pro, and this may be a little touchy subject, and if it is, I apologize in advance, but I think it's something that needs to be done. Rape kits. Those need to be processed. There are people in the system that could flush out, and that justice could be done. He used to be all for that. Nah, it's kind of on the wayside, back burner type stuff. Oh, don't look over there no more. There's more important things. We got to worry about this darn gone Red Dragon stuff. That's more important to
or critical race theory. It's like, why are these people pushing critical race theory?
Because they're trying to teach children. And trust me, if I hear them doing that in this school up here that Charles will be in this next year, I will show up at the door and I will lambaste them verbally, politely, calmly, as a good person, and tell them just how racist their so-called anti-race theory is.
Okay, everybody reads history. Sorry. Do everybody read history? Who pushes critical race theory in the first place? Henry Ford. What?
Leftist.
Right. But the first one who did it was Henry Ford. And guess who's copied him? It's a German guy in the 40s and 30s with a little black mustache. And it's not Charlie Chaplin, folks.
Most people don't even know that one of our founding automotive manufacturers actually started a town in another country to produce rubber for his automobiles. And that town was not run very well.
No, it was very horrible for the people of Brazil. And I know that experiment. It was like a slave labor camp.
Yes, it was pretty much. It wasn't slave labor. I mean, in the beginning, he treated them quite well. He gave them everything they needed, but unfortunately, he treated them to some very harsh conditions. They couldn't eat meat. They had to eat nothing but vegetables. They had to work when he said, P2E, good evening. I didn't see you hiding in there, but welcome. And yeah, I wasn't going to say it out loud, but you did. So, okay. It was an interesting video that I watched on it.
Right.
I read something. I've never heard that before. So I went and did some research, and wow, it did actually exist.
Because Henry Ford was more the socialist type, because in the early 20th century, he did Americanization. Of foreign nationals. Doesn't matter if you're Japanese, black, come from another country, you all speak English, you all wear suits, you all use the toilet, you followed the Ford plan and was successful. Even today, it's followed by most schools. That's another evil thing Henry Ford did. And people don't realize is the bells. You know, when you hear the classroom bell, that was Henry Ford's system. Now you eat lunch. Now you go to the other class. Now you go to this one. That was Henry's form of system on the classroom. You move from
Carol, that's not in many history books.
Yeah.
Because it wound up being a huge failure in the end.
It was.
And going back to Backwoods real quick before we shut down. There's over 600 million that they don't know nothing about. So-called ghost guns and private sales here and there. Not counting the people who collect black powder rifles and pistols that are not registered because they're old and grandfathered. And so, there is a ton of stuff out there that people don't know. That's one of the reasons America's never been invaded.
Right.
Because every country that's even considered it has said they're not going to invade a country where behind every blade of grass is at least one pistol or rifle.
Right. That's
why it's the most well-armed country in the world.
Right. That's
why we stay free.
Right. That's why Yamamoto told the Japanese military, "You're nuts if you want to invade Los Angeles. Go smoke some opium or something." And the same reply to Adolf Hitler. He wanted to invade the East Coast with super battleships, and both the Luftwaffe and the Navy told him, "You're nuts. No, you can't do that." Because his idea was conquer Greenland because it's owned by Denmark, and then jump over to America.
Mm-hmm. All right. It's time to go ahead and shut me down so y'all can take a minute to go use the restroom and get yourself something to drink. And we'll see you over at Camp Pat Family Compound. The link was just put up there by Gary Mann. So if you, after you've done your evening duties and gotten yourself something to drink, we'll meet everybody over there. So until then,